Okay, here we go with week 8. So there's a big assignment due this week, and that's your preschool project. So make sure that you have that in by Monday night at 6 o'clock, and make sure that you've fulfilled all the requirements on the rubric, that your last page documents all your references that you've used for images or other material. So it's due at the end of this week, so hopefully everybody's got it all finished. Um, and then also realize that this week I've opened up both week 8 and 9, so that if you want to get ahead for spring break, you can certainly do that. If you want to do the regular spring break assignments over spring break, then you can do that. But remember, week 8 assignments are due at next Monday. All right, but week 9, you have 2 weeks to finish those assignments. Okay, so and then this week there's something that else you're doing, and that's called the triangles assignment. And what the triangles assignment is, you're going to see what's called a genogram, which is also, there's another derivative of that called an echo map. And you'll see another one of these as we go through the semester. But what the triangles assignment is showing is how we can have a physical representation of relationships that are within a microsystem. Now remember, in a microsystem, we have relationships that are bidirectional. In other words, you and me, we're interacting with one another. I'm affecting you and you're affecting me. And then we can move into, that's a dyad, and then we can start adding to that dyad. So this would be a dyad plus 1. All right, and so triangles are relationships that involve 3 people. So it might be you have a relationship at school that you're struggling with an instructor, and you go and you talk to your friend. So you have you and your instructor, and the friend is thrown into the mix. We have in families where children might be talking to each other or interacting with each other and taking confidence in another child in the family, or maybe a parent in the family. We might have it where we're at work and we're struggling with our employer. We don't know how to ask our employer for a raise, or we don't know why our employer is treating us a certain way. So we go to a coworker and talk to the coworker, or we talk to a family member. So we have to acknowledge that in work relationships, family relationships, personal kind of relationships in other ways with friendships and so forth, that problems do arise. And so this is a way of physically representing it. So we can look at a diagram and we can say, look at the relationship between the mom and the dad. Look at the relationship between the children. What can we do to help this family to function on a more positive way? So you're going to do this. So I want you to watch a little short lecture that's on triangles and what they are, and then there's another one that has an example of a triangle that, or a family that's a genogram, okay, which is a visual representation of a family, and like I say, an echo map in a way. And so you're going to see that, and I'll go through the relationships in that family. And then I provide a large family genogram that actually is more like a genogram because it's multi-generational. And it identifies the relationships in this particular family. And then the assignment that's below it, it says, okay, here's 3 people in this relationship. How are they relating to each other? Okay, there's 4 triangles that I want you to talk about the relationships of the people within that triangle. Now make sure you talk about all 3 relationships that are in that triangle, or you will lose points. Okay, so like I say in the little video that you'll watch, sometimes there's arrows pointing, sometimes there isn't. Don't worry about that. What that does sometimes, it shows that if, say, I have an arrow pointing towards a person, and I say that that's positive, but then there's an arrow coming back at me that says it's not so positive, then that means that we're not evaluating the relationship the same as each other. So there might be arrows and there might not be arrows. Don't worry about that. If they're there, then take that into consideration. If they're not there, then don't worry about them. Okay, so then like I say, identify the relationships that are in there and take care of every relationship that's in there. Sometimes students forget, they leave one person out. Make sure that you're talking about all the relationships that are in there. Okay, so I just want you to see that this would be something that might be used in the field. That I know that sociologists and psychologists use genograms, they use echo maps. It's a great way to work with people and make it non-threatening, and we're doing something. I'm not just having to talk to you, we're actually looking at this and we're talking about it. So we're using our hands as well as our voice and our eyes, and it's kind of a cool way to take the pressure off. So okay, so I hope you enjoy it. It's not meant to be a super difficult assignment. And I think that you should figure out the relationships fairly easily. Like I say, I just want you to be exposed to this particular tool that's identifying interpersonal relationships within a microsystem. Okay?